You know what's fascinating? While most of us are still snoozing through our alarms, some of the world's most successful people have already knocked out a workout, responded to hundreds of emails, and mapped out their entire day. Today, we're diving into the morning routines of highly successful people. And no, we're not talking about those fake wake up at 3 a.m. and meditate for 6 hours routines you see on social media. We're talking about real verified habits backed by actual research. Let's get into it. The early bird reality. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Yes, a lot of successful people wake up ridiculously early. But here's the thing, it's not just about bragging rights. Take Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple. This guy wakes up before 5 a.m. every single day. And what's he doing? He's reading customer emails, hundreds of them. In fact, Cook receives between 500 to 600 emails daily and spends his first hour reading feedback from customers and employees. He's told interviewers that this is his way of staying grounded and connected to what people actually think about Apple products. But Cook's not alone in the super early club. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he's up at 3:30 a.m. Michelle Obama, 4:30 a.m. And here's what's interesting, they're not just randomly picking these times. Cook explained that the early morning is the part of the day he can control the most, because as the day unfolds, it becomes less predictable. Now, before you set your alarm for 4 a.m. tomorrow, let's get real for a second. There's actually some science behind early rising, but it's not what you think. A 2008 study published in the Journal of General Psychology found that early risers tend to procrastinate less than night owls. But, and this is crucial, experts recommend adults get 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, while The Rock only gets 3 to 5 hours, which is actually way too little for most people. So the takeaway isn't wake up at 3 a.m., it's about finding your optimal wake-up time based on when you go to sleep. The goal is consistency, not suffering. Exercise is non-negotiable. Here's where things get really interesting. Almost every successful person we researched has one thing in common. They exercise in the morning, and they treat it like a business meeting they absolutely cannot miss. Michelle Obama's been working out at 4:30 a.m. since her first daughter was 4 months old. She realized her husband Barack's exercise routine hadn't changed after having a baby, so she decided to prioritize it the same way by getting up early. And Barack, he does 45 minutes of weights and cardio at 6:45 a.m. 6 days a week, and it was completely non-negotiable during his presidency. But here's the kicker. The benefits of morning exercise go way beyond just physical fitness. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that a morning bout of moderate intensity exercise improves cognitive performance like decision-making across the entire day. The researchers studied people aged 55 to 80 and found that those who exercised in the morning performed better on tasks requiring attention, executive function, and decision-making compared to those who just sat all day. Now think about that for a second. You're not just building muscle or burning calories. You're literally enhancing your brain's ability to make better decisions for the next 8 to 10 hours. Even Anna Wintour, the editor-in-chief of Vogue, starts her morning with an hour-long tennis match. Richard Branson likes to exercise first thing around 5 a.m. The pattern is clear. These people aren't working out because they have extra time. They're making time because they know it's that important. The meditation and mindfulness factor. Okay, so we've covered waking up early and exercise. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. Meditation and mindfulness. Arianna Huffington, founder of Thrive Global, practices 20 to 30 minutes of meditation each morning, and she deliberately does it before checking email or touching any technology. Oprah Winfrey meditates before her physical workout. And here's an interesting one. Former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey takes 30 minutes to meditate before his 6-mile run. Now, if you're rolling your eyes thinking meditation is just woo-woo stuff, hold on. There's actually solid research behind this. The practice helps control anxiety and stress, and it can boost self-awareness and concentration. But more importantly, these leaders are using those quiet moments to mentally prepare for their day without the chaos of notifications, demands, and decisions bombarding them immediately. Think of it this way. Your brain is about to process thousands of pieces of information today, make hundreds of decisions, and solve countless problems. And would you rather start that engine cold, or would you rather warm it up first? That's what meditation does. It's a warm-up for your mind. And it doesn't have to be formal meditation. Recent research on 50 entrepreneurs found that not a single one rolled over and grabbed their phone as their first conscious act of the day. They created a buffer, even just 10 to 20 minutes, between waking up and plugging into the world. Some read, some journal, some just sit with coffee in silence. The point is, they're intentionally not giving their freshest attention to the loudest thing on their phone. The breakfast debate and decision fatigue. So what about breakfast? Well, this is where things get interesting because successful people have wildly different approaches. Some, like Tim Cook, keep it incredibly simple. He eats the same brand cereal every single morning while having his coffee. Barack Obama during his presidency? Largely the same foods. Steve Jobs famously wore the same outfit every day. Why? It's all about decision fatigue. Clinical psychologist Supatra Tavar explains that this routine likely minimizes decision fatigue, allowing leaders to conserve mental energy for high-stakes decisions. Here's the science. Researchers at the University of Nottingham and the National Institute of Education in Singapore reviewed 83 studies on self-control and found that ego depletion has a significant effect on your ability to perform self-control tasks. Basically, every decision you make, even tiny ones like what should I wear or what should I eat, depletes your mental resources. So by the time you get to work, if you've already made 50 small decisions, you've got less willpower and cognitive power left for the important stuff. That's why Obama, Cook, and others automate these choices. But here's what matters more than what they eat. They're eating something nutritious. Whether it's eggs and oatmeal, protein and complex carbs, or a simple smoothie, they're fueling their bodies properly. The Rock has his whole meal plan down to a science with 6 to 7 meals a day, but that's extreme. For most people, just having a balanced breakfast that includes protein, some healthy fats, and complex carbs will do the trick. The key takeaway? Don't waste mental energy on trivial decisions if you don't have to. Save that brain power for what actually matters. The things they don't do now. Let's flip this around. What don't successful people do in the morning? This might be even more important. First, Ariana Huffington makes it a point to not jump to her phone or social media in the morning hours. And she usually gets a full 8 hours of sleep, so she doesn't even need an alarm clock. She said that getting up naturally is a much more relaxed way to begin the day. Second, they don't hit snooze. When they wake up, they get up. In a 2013 Guardian series of interviews with famous CEOs and entrepreneurs, every single one was an early riser, and most claimed to get out of bed as soon as they woke up. Third, they don't start their day reactive. What does that mean? They're not immediately responding to everyone else's priorities and emergencies. Tim Cook reads emails, sure, but he's reviewing overnight sales reports and customer feedback. That's strategic input, not reactive firefighting. There's a difference. And here's a big one. Some experts warn that stumbling out of bed too early can be unhealthy and unsustainable if you're designing every day solely around productivity without inner reflection. The most successful people aren't just productivity machines. They're building sustainable routines that work for their actual lives. The science of morning routines. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Why do morning routines matter so much from a scientific standpoint? Well, remember that study about morning exercise improving cognition? The researchers found that people who did 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise in the morning showed improved cognitive performance throughout an entire 8-hour day, particularly in decision-making and executive function. The reason? It increases something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is basically like fertilizer for your brain. But there's another crucial factor, chronobiology. Our bodies run on circadian rhythms, and morning routines help set these internal clocks. According to Dr. Sachin Panda's research at the Salk Institute, eating breakfast at a consistent time every day helps synchronize circadian rhythms in most of our organs. This is huge for everything from metabolism to cognitive function. The bottom line? Your morning routine isn't just about getting things done. It's about setting biological and psychological patterns that affect your entire day. Here's what the research consistently shows. The longer the day goes on, the more your self-control and cognitive resources get depleted. That's why the advice from both research and historical figures like Mark Twain is the same. Get your big, important work done early. The realistic takeaway. All right, let's bring this home with some real talk. You're probably not going to wake up at 3:30 a.m. like The Rock. You probably won't be reading 600 emails before sunrise like Tim Cook. And that's totally fine. Recent research studying 50 entrepreneurs found they weren't all waking up at 4:30 a.m., taking ice baths, and running marathons before sunrise. They had kids who cried at night, they had jet lag, they had very human mornings. But here's what they all did have. Structure around the things that mattered most to them. Some form of physical movement, some pocket of quiet before the chaos, and intentionality about how they started their day. The study found that even on imperfect days, successful entrepreneurs tried to protect at least some tiny version of their core morning pillars. That's the secret. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency with what works for you. So here's your action plan. Pick one thing, just one. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's doing 15 minutes of movement before you check your phone. Maybe it's eating a proper breakfast instead of grabbing whatever's fastest. Start there. Build consistency. Then add another element when you're ready. The morning routines of successful people aren't magic. They're strategic. They're about taking control of the one part of your day that you can control before everything else starts demanding your attention. They're about investing in yourself first so you can show up better for everything else. And remember, you don't need to copy anyone else's routine to benefit from these principles. The goal is to find what works for your life, your body, your brain, and your goals. Start small, be consistent, and watch how your mornings transform your entire day. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more content on productivity, success habits, and practical self-improvement. What's one morning habit you're going to try? Drop it in the comments below. See you in the next one.